Thank you so much to Jerry Jones. I try to thank him every time I can. The gift that keeps on giving. He and Micah Parsons are having a thing, and when Jerry Jones has an issue with the player, he gives some great quote. Micah Parsons, you may know, we've talked about him. No deal, no nothing. Wait, we thought there was a deal. We'd been told by Jerry Jones there was an agreement. Everything was fine. But nothing ever got signed. Nothing ever got done. And then there was a rumor this weekend. Can't be true. Micah Parsons was going to demand a trade. No, please don't go the same way as all these other players who try to use that as leverage to get their deal. Don't use it as a way of leverage to actually get traded. You're a Cowboy. You're associated with the Cowboys. Is this just part of what Jerry does? And then we got some more detail, and it was BA D. The Micah Parsons Cowboy relationship has deteriorated so badly that Micah Parsons did a social media post. If there's one thing that we tell our players, please, for the love of God, don't tell me something on social media that you haven't told me first. I don't want to learn anything on an Insta post. Well, Micah Parsons said, tell me if you like this. Tell me if this is convincing. He released this letter on Friday after we'd recorded, and it was like an update, sort of. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. This is Parsons talking about the Cowboys. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. We're going to get to that. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. We'll get to that. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I'll get to that. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. Yikes. He's not staying quiet anymore. What's he exactly talking about? Well, do you remember we covered Jerry Jones talking about Micah Parsons? Do you remember we talked about Jerry Jones saying that, hey, Micah Parsons misses like 6 games, so what do we don't need to pay him for those 6 games? Turned out he missed 4. Let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story. Remember we told you that Jerry Jones didn't even know who Micah Parsons' agent was, and we said horse hockey. If my GM didn't know the agent of one of my star players, fired. But of course, Jerry Jones, the owner, can't pay attention to what Jerry Jones, the GM, knows because he can't tell the frickin' difference between the GM and the owner, but we can here at Nothing Personal. There is no way the GM of the Cowboys doesn't know Micah Parsons' agent. None. Next. Negotiating with the player without the agent present? Micah, let me give you a word of advice. You don't have to allow Jerry Jones, the owner, the GM, or anyone on the Cowboys to put you in a negotiating session without your agent. It's like a criminal situation. Would you like an attorney? You have the right to an attorney. They're called rights. Do you know that it's not granted by the Constitution by any stretch at all? But did you know in a negotiation, you're allowed to say to your boss, hold on one second, I'd like to consult somebody. Hey, I'm not that comfortable talking about this. Can I get someone to represent me, please? This is normal. You know, we'd like to give you a raise of cost of living, which you think is 4%, but we're going to give you a raise of 2%. Have fun. Well, thank you so much for that. May I have another? Sometimes you can say, I'd like a bigger raise. I'm not happy with that raise. Let me be back to you. Many employees are scared to do that because they're scared their employers will move on from them. I get it. I understand that advocating for yourself can be hard. But in the world of sports and in the world of sports agents, to complain publicly that you're tired of having to negotiate without your agent present, that's your fault. Find me a team that tells you they will not talk to an agent, and I'll find you a team that does not exist. As president of a team, I tried to get around agents. I would send offers to players to make sure that the players got the offers because agents like Scott Boras would sometimes not even send the offers to the players. That happens. It happens, Scott. You can deny it all you want, but it happened. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. Or you can CC the agent and the player, or you can do it on the field when the agent's not around, but it's not a negotiating session. You can saddle right up to the player. Micah, what's shaking, man? How you doing? What's going on? Yeah, we're trying to get this done right now. What do you got? Guaranteed signing of a $120, $130, looking for the record. What do you think? Do you know what the player's taught to say by the union? What the player's taught to say by the agent? Shh. Stop. Do not discuss your salary with anyone on your team without your agent present. Just talk about, yeah, man, I'm getting ready to the game. My ham's feeling a little tender, so I'm going to do extra stretching. Hey, man, I'm going to go running. Hey, I'm going to go lifting. There's a million things you can do. The Cowboys made everything worse, though. Jerry Jones walks to the media after this Micah Parsons letter is received. And he looks right at the media, and he's like, I don't know this is not a big deal. I'll say right now, don't lose any sleep over this. Micah Parsons asking for a trade. This is just negotiating. And I'm sorry to say, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, that's exactly what this is. The problem is there's sometimes when players play this hand, they play the card, trade me or sign me. Sometimes they do end up getting traded. So is it possible Micah Parsons gets traded? Well, Jerry Jones said, I paid Dak, I paid Lamb. Why would you think I'm not going to pay Micah? I don't need to go through an agent. I'm the GM of this team. I can talk to the player, give him the offer. I can do all these things. I love Micah. But by the way, let's be clear, Jerry Jones said. This is simply a step. He's in a bad mood. He decided to go public. It's not going to impact my offer. It's not going to impact our relationship. Everything's good here. But if anyone asks you, you tell them that Jerry Jones said to you directly that I offered him a hell of a lot more than you think I did. That's what you don't know. But my point is reached. I reached. Jerry Jones trying to get you, the audience, who he thinks is so stupid, which you know drives me crazy. He wants you to believe that he reached for Micah Parsons in a way that is uncomfortable, that he will not reach further, but lest there be misunderstanding, I offered him more than I should have. We always would say that. But when you're involved in a fight like this where the player demands a trade, you got to hold off on that until after you trade him or after you sign him. There has to be resolution. The reason why you can't say in the middle of a negotiation is, man, I've reached. I've got nowhere to go. Because unless you know where it's going to end, then you're caught. Because if you've reached, and you've reached as far as you can go, that means by definition the negotiation's over. The Cowboys are not done negotiating with Micah Parsons by any stretch. If you end up trading him, if he ends up signing, then you can say, not only did I reach, but I didn't want to reach to the point of hurting the team, and the last offer was a number that would have hurt the team. You can go through all that stuff, but now's not the time, because for whatever reason, people are conveniently forgetting that Micah Parsons is a signed player. It drives me insane. I don't want to waste 1 minute if I'm the GM or president of a team on one of my guys who's signed. You want to trade? Great. Have fun not playing. You're contracted toll. What do you want to be, Le'Veon Bell? Be it. Happy to have you do it. Call his bluff, Jerry. End this. Just stop meeting the media trying to boast about all the things you've done and how great you are at what you do. End it. Either make Micah Parsons play on the current contract he has, or make Micah Parsons sit. Give him a deadline. Are you too scared because the regular season doesn't start for 4 weeks? What could be the reason why you want to drag this out? The attention? That's what people in the media are saying. Jerry Jones loves the attention. It is the most misdirected, terrible take I've heard in people from our industry. He loves doing the same thing. He keeps the news, Cowboys news in July and August, and then he goes and signs the guy. He won't miss a game. Everything's coming up roses. I am unwilling to acknowledge that that's what Jerry Jones does because he can't be that stupid. He's not.